Welcome to Comic and Screen. I am Sam Otten, and I am joined by Jason Book from up in Canada and houseofjb.blogspot.ca. Jason, thanks for being here again.
Hey, no problem, Sam. Anytime.
We're going to be talking about a new show in the DC television universe, and this is The Flash, which has premiered now and had 3 episodes under its belt on CW. And as everybody probably knows, it's a spin-off from Arrow. But let's take a look at The Flash, created by Greg Berlanti and Jeff Johns, and they've been heavily involved in the development of it. So, Jason, what are your impressions now? We're 3 episodes in.
Honestly, Sam, I think it's probably the best superhero TV show I've ever seen. I think it's really well done. I think this guy is a great choice for the Flash. I like what they're doing with the supporting characters, kind of having this, the Star Labs element where they're taking stuff from different DC comics and putting them in there. It's entertaining. The what's going on behind the scenes is entertaining. The little bonus scenes at the end. The casting, like the cop and the supporting cast, they're all good. Barry's dad, being the guy from the original Flash show, I thought that sounded hokey at first. It works so well. Every episode I'm enjoying it. There's little nitpicking things here and there, but really, I think Barry Allen as a character, you talk to people about Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent, they know what those characters are. But Barry Allen's been kind of more of a blank slate. He's been drawn and written as like a real do-gooder guy to all sorts of other incarnations, so they could kind of do what they want with this.
Yeah, the jokester, the comic relief.
Right, and this, I just really think, plus the element of the CSI element, which is so overdone in TV shows, but not in a superhero TV show. It's a perfect mix of everything. I really enjoy it a lot.
I'm with you. I mean, so for me, I've been pretty thrilled with the first 3 episodes. I agree with you. There's a few minor things where I'm like, oh, that was not perfect, but you got to expect that with any new show to kind of get their footing.
Yeah.
But overall, I've been probably the most impressed with Grant Gustin.
Yeah, he's great.
He's just really charismatic. I mean,
Yep.
he has a lot of depth. He seems very comfortable as a lead. I would say he's even more comfortable as Stephen Amell is in Arrow. Like Stephen Amell, when I first was watching him, he was a little stiff, and it seemed like it took him a while to get kind of comfortable into the character.
Yeah.
But Grant Gustin came in and he's like, I'm the lead. I'm fun to watch. I have a lot of sort of dynamic range.
Yeah.
I like too that he can carry the humor and the lighter side, but then also kind of carry the action side or the the heroics.
Yeah, totally,
So,
right? That's what we were talking about before. This show is like the perfect example of something that is different than all the dark stuff we've seen, but it
oh
still
yeah,
has the great elements. And
right.
I'm saying this right now, like they're talking about they've cast somebody else as the Flash in the Justice League movie and all this stuff. This guy should be the Flash. He's awesome at it already.
I was worried that they were going to try to bring humor, but do it in just a really cheesy, kind of lame way. But I could tell right from the first episode, and then they kept it up in 2 and 3,
Yeah.
that they actually have funny humor. Like they have interactions between characters that are just funny, and it's fun to watch them interact.
Totally. And
Um,
everything about the show, if you kind of look at it, it kind of combines stuff from all the different Flash characters, right? Like there's they're going to do something weird about the Speed Force one day and all this stuff. Everything they've shown in the shows, none of it goes against stuff that's been in the comics. It just builds on it. And
yeah,
I love that there's like a defining thing in the city that gave him his powers, and then it's also making these other guys have powers because there's a little too much of these element guys and weather things and this, that, and we're going to see Captain Cold apparently next week, which really has a potential to be cheesy, but it looks great already in the promos. I just think that they've really hit it out of the park with this one, and the reason the ratings have been so crazy is because people want something like this. You don't have to know anything about the Flash to watch this show, and it's really entertaining.
yeah. They've done a great job of, like you said, being true and respectful to the comics in a lot of different ways, but also making it very appealing just to the
Yeah,
general public.
yeah,
So I thought they've struck a good balance. I think having Caitlin Snow and Cisco, if somebody was just coming to this and watching it, they'd be like, oh, Caitlin Snow, she's like the female part of the team, and Cisco, he's kind of the fun, goofy guy on the team who's
yeah.
going to be kind of the Flash's friend. But then if you know the comics, you're also knowing, oh, down the road, we're
Exactly.
going to have some Killer Frost or some Vibe. And
That's
so
right.
we have these things that from the comic background we can look forward to. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that they haven't rushed to those. I'm glad that
No,
they're just
yeah.
keeping them as Caitlin and Cisco for a while,
Right.
and give yourself some story points that you can develop in the future.
Yeah, like I
Um,
don't know if we need to see, there are hints of Firestorm and things like that. I mean, it's not really a Flash thing. As long as it works with the story and what they're doing, it sounds great. But
yeah.
I got to tell you, that first pilot episode was better than some superhero movies. Like it was that good. It really was.
Cool. I do think I'm also glad they have the humor. They have, the superhero stuff with the villains and the CSI elements, which I thought it has been done well.
Yeah.
I also am glad that each episode has had some real emotional moments usually it's between Barry and Detective West.
Totally. Totally.
And I thought those have been acted well and written well, and so
Yeah.
that the emotions have actually paid off. So
Yeah.
I like that they're bringing all the dimensions to it.
I would totally agree. I think it's what's making it cool like that and like making it its own thing. Casting characters in different races from what they are in the comics has no effect to how awesome
Yeah,
it is.
right.
It's actually made it better in ways. And
Right.
like
Yeah,
having
those were
like
good.
the detective be kind of a father figure to him is super cool. And like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I'm sorry, but I can't see how a Flash movie with other people could be better than this right now. I really couldn't see it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's, the talk about. So Jeff Johns, I guess, just yesterday said that the TV universe and the movie universe exist together within the same multiverse.
Oh,
They're
of course.
So,
eh?
so they're separate, but now it's confirmed that they're separate, but within the same multiverse. So he's kind of keeping the door open to like a crossover, hopefully 8 years or 10 years down the road. Not
We
too
could have like
soon.
an Earth 2 DC movie
yeah.
or something like that. That'd be crazy. Holy smokes.
So one character that I'm still trying to get a feel for is Iris West. So I mean, so far she's been the one that I haven't loved as much. Like
Really,
I love the team that's like with Flash, and I'm glad that they know he's Flash because now it gives people that he can kind of bounce off of. And I thought it's been great how they've like explored his powers and his limitations and stuff.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Iris West, I'm still kind of like not. I don't think anything's wrong with her, but I just
No.
haven't kind of like gotten attached to her yet, like I have with some of the other characters.
Well, for
But
me, what I like is if I told you to tell me something about Iris West from the comics, you'd be hard pressed to tell me any sort of real intriguing characteristics about the character, right?
so they maybe are trying to develop her kind of in a new way.
Yeah, and I find that not having her just be the straight love interest for the character is really cool too, because he really likes her, but
Right.
she thinks of him like a friend or a
Yeah.
adopted brother almost, and that's a really cool side to it. I do hope though that you notice that detective's partner is named, isn't it Eddie Thawne or something like that?
Yep.
I don't want to see that just go that route. Like, okay, he's going to become like, because isn't that like the Reverse Flash or something in the comic? I forget.
It is definitely somebody. I'm hoping with a lot of these things, I'm hoping that they keep them way down the road and that they don't try to
Yeah.
like go to those too quickly.
Right, because it works really well right now, the way everything's going. And I kid you not, like the first pilot reminded me of like the first Spider-Man movie. Like it was just such a great origin story. And I don't know, it's better than Arrow, it's better than Gotham, it's better than S.H.I.E.L.D., it's better than so many shows on TV. And I just think it's got the potential to stay like that for a long time.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. I mean, I'm excited for this one for sure. So we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, so the ratings have been good enough that they have already picked it up for a full season. So like, I mean, right after episode 2, CW said, give us a full slate. So that's really good news. We know
Yeah.
we're going to be getting at least, 22 or 23 of these episodes. So that's great.
Before we stop talking about this, I have a question for you about this.
Go for it.
I think they need to find a way to make the Flash comic as accessible as this show. Because if you told someone to go pick up a Flash comic right now after reading this, they'd kind of be like, huh? He's got blonde hair and he's fighting guys in like, really crazy outfits and it doesn't have as much of a grounded feel. I think they've really hit something here with the show and like they could really kind of take a page out of that and make the comic a little more, not street level, but kind of a little bit more reality with the fantastical,
Yeah. And I think too, I mean, with DC's big push into television, they need to be smart about opening the doors to some comics
Yeah,
for
definitely.
the people that are going to be interested.
Yeah.
And if they come in, if they like a TV show and they come to check out the comic, and if the comic is very convoluted and confusing and very different from the TV show,
Well, they're not going to
then
buy it, right?
yeah,
Yeah, they have
right.
this digital one like called the Flash Season Zero or something. I'm like, but it's kind of trying to be like the show. You don't need that. You've already got the show. Make the comic kind of something in between, where people could pick it up and be like, yeah, that's Barry Allen. That's what he looks like, or that's what the costume looks like, or whatever. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're looking forward to more episodes of this. I'm definitely excited that they DC launching 3 TV shows this year. I'm glad that Flash is one that's knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
Gotham's good enough. They've picked that up. The network Fox has picked that up for a full season. I agree. Gotham's not as good as Flash, but so far they haven't whiffed it. And so Constantine now just premiered. So I'm
Hmm.
hoping that at the beginning of it, I was just hoping for one of the three to actually have legs.
Yeah.
But now it's almost like, oh man, it might be two or even all three of them might actually stand the test of time for a while. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting time to be a DC fan. I mean, like, the movies are, we'll see how things go. They're work in progress, but for the TV shows, they're really doing some great stuff right now.
I agree. All right. Well, thanks for talking with me about it.
Hey, anytime.